Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. This video's all over the place. It didn't go as planned, but I'll let you know what's going on. Went for a test drive in the Nomad, about over a 5-hour trip. Then I go over some problems that I had with it. Then I explain why I'm not going to go on Hot Rod Power Tour this year. And then we end up, we swapped the Chinese Quadrajet 4-barrel onto the 81 Silverado because it had a Edelbrock carb on it, and we took that Edelbrock off and got a new intake, because this was a 2-barrel 352 barrel. Bought a brand new intake off eBay for 120 bucks, and we put the Edelbrock on it and put it in the El Camino. So anyway, that's what's going on in this video. Here it is. Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. We're on a road trip. It was only supposed to be 2.5 hours there, but it's been about 4. Just traffic and a train delay where the train wasn't even moving. I had to drive like 30 miles out of the way to get around it. Anyway, we're going to Weatherford. There's a sign there. Visit a friend of mine, check out his shop. Been meaning to go down there for a few years. He built it a couple years ago, and we're going down there to check it out. Me and Nikki. Nikki's in the back here being a good girl. And okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys. I went out to my friend's place. Got stuck in a lot of traffic and trains and stuff like that, but coming back was okay. So there and back, should have been a 5-hour trip, but anyway, I did great, no problems. I didn't film anything there. I was going to, but I thought maybe he might be interested in getting on YouTube, because he makes little videos every now and then, but he wasn't. So he's a little paranoid of filming license plates and people finding out where he lives or something. I don't know. So I didn't even film. I should have filmed the shop, but it was a pretty big shop. Spent $100,000 on it. So anyway, I haven't been filming. That was yesterday. Today I've been messing around with this. We'll go over it real quick. Well, probably not real quick, but got the LS motor out of, and the transmission from this 2001 Silverado truck. Over a year ago. Got it all in here running good and everything, and took it on Hot Rod Power Tour last year. 2,600 miles, no problems. Except it has a miss in it, and I don't know where it's coming from other than this side. So it sounds great. Right? Sounds great. But there's a miss in it. And you can tell you can hear that side. But so you can hear something there, which is the left bank. Now, you can kind of feel it when you're driving, but I mean, if you floored it, especially low speeds, you floor it and it sounds like everything lights up, like just real powerful. But just cruising along, you can feel that miss. It's a little bit of a shake. I got the OBD thing there, right here, and I plugged it in, and it doesn't narrow it down to what cylinder. It just says misfire. And then so anyway, it was like that when I put it in here, but I got two computers. I got the factory one, then I sent away on eBay and got one tuned, which was, I forget what it all was, delete the EGR, delete this, delete that, oxygen sensors and all that stuff, delete the key, even though I got the everything from the truck for the key to work, anti-theft. But so I immediately put that in there, and I think that's when I noticed the miss. So I always thought it was the computer, or afterwards. So of course I changed all the plugs, I changed all the coils, plugs, plug wires, coils, changed all them. Didn't make no difference. This was last year, before I went on Hot Rod Power Tour. It had a miss in Hot Rod Power Tour. It seems yesterday, it seemed the miss seems to be worse a little bit. So last year it still was missing after changing all that over. So then I thought, well, it's got to be the fuel injectors. So I changed all the fuel injectors, cleaned out the rail and everything on this side. No difference. No difference. So it's been sitting. I don't really drive it. So I figured I'd put the old computer back in there. There's the one I got off eBay that's all supposed to be tuned and all that. I had it wrapped up in plastic because it's the only place I could fit it was in that fender well. So I put the original one on there. That's what I've been doing today. It doesn't make any difference. I took out plug by plug, and then took the plug wire with a plug in it, started it up, and yeah, it's sparking, every one of them on this side, unless it's on this side. But I think I changed all the coils and wires and plugs and everything, because I did it all in 8s. The only thing I didn't change on this side was the fuel injectors, because it was a pain in the ass with them. I put some JB weld on right here where it connects. The little rubber gaskets in there are $90 at AutoZone, AC Delco, and you got to use AC Delco or else they'll, the cheap ones will leak. So I found some AC Delcos for $45 on eBay. Put them in there, and it just tightens up with this little torque screw here. Tighten it all up, and sure enough, it's leaking. So I took it all apart and JB welded the shit out of it, put it on there, and it hasn't leaked since. That was a long time ago. So that looks a little rigged there. Okay, so I don't know what else to do, guys. I think it must be a valve or something. It's got to be a valve, or unless it's the computer, I don't know. I know on newer engines, if it misfires, the computer will change the spark from one side to the other or something. I don't know. It could be something like that. The computer's up in here behind the battery. I got some tape kind of holding it up because it's not, I didn't wrap it in a baggie or nothing. I don't know whether to put the old one back. I was just trying both of them out. They both seemed to act the same way. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm going to take it on Hot Rod Power Tour or not. We'll figure it out in the next few days. I could try the other side, but I don't think it's going to be a difference. Like I said, it's coming out of this side, you can hear it. So anyway, I've been messing with that, but other than that, I mean, it's not going to blow up or nothing, because like I said, it was doing it last year for 2,600 miles. You know, every time I started there, you could hear that little bit of a miss on this side, but I'd like to fix it, but I just can't figure it out. I don't know what it is. And I don't know if it was doing it in the truck. Because, you know, you started up that truck, I couldn't drive it because rear end was blown. But it sounded great when I got it running and everything. And I couldn't really hear a miss because it's not dual exhaust, so you couldn't hear one side or the other. It just sounded really good, but I was unable to drive it to test it. And I'm pretty sure that it did it, this miss here, once I put it in this car, is when I noticed it. Mainly because of the side pipes. But like I said, if you floor it, it seems like it clears up, and that's why I thought it was maybe a gas injector problem. It very well could be. I mean, I just bought cheap injectors from eBay. But anyway, guys, I'm messing with that. I'll just figure I'd give you an update on that. Like I said, I took it on a road trip. I didn't check the mileage, but it was a pretty long trip there and back. It did great. Everything else seems to be good on the car. I'd take it on Hot Rod Power Tour again, but I'm just waiting, guys, because I don't know if it's how hot it's going to be. It was friggin' about over 90 today and pretty hot, and you never know. If it's last year was okay because it was in the 80s, but then again it was in Tennessee and stuff. Not in a couple of overcast days, not too bad at all. Didn't really need AC. But the year before, it was friggin' 100 degrees every day, just sweating my balls off with the dog in the car, puppy at the time. I'm gonna take Nikki this time. So I'm kind of waiting up until the last week or so before to decide, because if it's all of a sudden get a heat wave 100 degrees every day, I'm not going. I can't get the AC working in this. I went over that before. I can't get it going. It's all anyway. So yeah, no AC. Anyway, guys, I'll be back. Just figure I'll give you an update. Okay, guys, next day. I still haven't got started on body work on this. Trying to wrap up some stuff. Yeah, I wanted to show you on the Nomad what else I think I forgot to mention. The only thing on the codes since the beginning was reading the idle, TPI, throttle position sensor, and the idle control module, I think. Anyway, they come in pairs, and I bought them, and I put them on too, but it didn't help the problem that I mentioned. So I'm not sure what to do with it yet. Okay. Started up the Le Mans, let it run for about an hour or so. Washed it up pretty good, and then I just rinsed off the Corvette. You have to take some soap and a thing to get all the dirt off, but I rinsed it off, and the GTO and just the hood on the El Camino, hood and windshield. Okay, so this truck, no matter what I do to it, it's still got a little shake to it. Just shaking a little bit. Drives down the road okay, but I took that, I bought that Chinese Quadrajet, had it on here, it worked fine, but so did the old carburetor, I come to find out. It was a distributor problem. So I changed, put the old carburetor back on there, it runs great. So I think what I'm gonna do, is put this Chinese Quadrajet on the truck. And then I got this 4-barrel intake, but I'm thinking about buying an aftermarket one, like, or about 120 bucks. Instead of trying to clean this one up, and it's got the EGR thing. Probably have to buy an EGR delete plate, and it's so gunked up that I think it'd be better to buy one for 119 bucks. And then I was going to put the Quadrajet on and put this on the red 76L Camino. This only got a 2-barrel on it. But I think what I'll do is put that Quadrajet on this and see if it solves the shaking problem. See the steering wheel? But if you drive down the road, it's fine. It's just, let's say you put it in gear. Oh, it's not shaking as much now. It seemed to shake more when you put it in drive, but this truck sat up for 10 years, and you can just look at that carburetor. It's just filthy, and it's probably like that on the inside. It's just worried about the linkage, but I think this factory thing here, this linkage will work on that Quadrajet. And then I'll clean this one up as best I can and put it on the red El Camino. Not right now, but yeah, originally I changed the plugs in this, and then I went ahead and still did it, and then I changed over the plug wires and distributor cap, and it still does it. So it's got to be the carburetor, and no matter how I time it, it's still got that shake to it. So we'll have to probably tear this one down or just clean it, and I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to swap that and I'll be back. Okay guys, I got her on there. It's still got that little shake to it. I just wonder if it's the distributor like it was with the IROC. It's either that or just something in the engine, you know, just valves or something. Just a little rough on the idle, but starts right up and everything. It's about the best I can do with it. Well, put an air cleaner on it and call it done. But now I got the power steering leaking again. Well, I guess it's always leaked. It's just slower leak than it did before. Yeah, I had to put a new hose on it. It's dripping out through the bottom. So that front seal. Yeah, I think I'm out of power steering pumps. I had about 2 or 3 used ones around here, but they're all leaked. I don't know what I can do about that. But anyway, for now it's done. We'll move on to something else. Probably start the body work on the IROC here. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's about 8 or 9 days before I would have to leave on Hot Rod Power Tour, and I think I'm going to skip it this year. I have no doubt the Nomad would make it. No problem with it. I just don't like that little miss in it. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Maybe wait for a vehicle with another engine, maybe even a 6.0. I don't know. See, my original plans for this was to make it a drag and drive car too, but I'm afraid to soup it up with anything, you know, like turbos or anything like that. So maybe that's what we'll do. If I can get a better engine. I'm not going to have one rebuilt and spend that kind of money, but Anyway, yeah, not because of that. I got plenty of other cars I could take, but I got Nikki, and I don't want to put her in a kennel. You know, I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do on Hot Rod Power Tour. You're supposed to bring the car you built, bring a different car every year, the one you built over the last year. I don't know. I don't know what people do, but yeah, I could take this El Camino, no problem, and make it, but no back seat for Nikki. Same with the Silverado. Same with this white El Camino over here. I just painted the, see, this video's all over the place. Before I was about to start the body work. Well, I finished the body work and painted the 85 IROC. I would probably take that, but there was a guy on there last year, I can't remember who it was. I think I've watched a few of his videos, but he had like an 80s Firebird. And oh, he was all proud of it. Nothing special. It didn't look nothing fancy. He's all proud of it and everything. But the thing is, he said he didn't get a second look at that car because there were so many of them, and he was just, nobody ever gave it a second look, come over and say, "Oh, nice car," that type of thing, because it's a run-of-the-mill, nothing special. So I always try to bring something special, like the Nomad. I mean, this definitely gets looks, shows off what you can do, come out of not a junkyard, a farmer's field there, sitting for 30 odd years, rusted. It was a hell of a lot of work to get that thing going and looking like it did. So yeah, I was proud to bring this one. Got lots of looks, compliments, thumbs up, stuff like that. So do I want to bring a car that doesn't get attention? No. I'd probably like to bring the Le Mans. That was going to be in my original flagship type car before the Nomad, but I didn't build this. I traded a 67 rusty Chevelle for this. I love it. It's been all restored, great shape. But do you want to bring a car like that? People say, "Oh, did you build that?" Nah, I didn't build it. Well, you know, it's just, I'm supposed to be showing off what I built, what I can build. Do I want to take the Avalanche? No, wouldn't get a second look. Anything newer than 80s type cars I wouldn't probably bring. There's a ton of El Caminos there. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna skip it. It'll get kind of expensive with a dog. The motels are more usually. I know Motel 6 is not supposed to charge any more for dogs. But Nikki, she loves going for rides in a car. She's a great traveler. But should be underneath there. Hey Nikki, you want to come out and say hi? Nikki. She's hiding in the shade underneath the Avalanche. That's her new favorite spot. Nikki. So yeah, but like the other motels, they'll charge a lot more. So it's going to average, and that's if you can even find a motel. Trying to find one is pretty tough. You got to be resourceful. So it's well over $100. It's a 9-day ordeal, guys. It's 5 days, but it's about 2 days there and 2 days back. So it's a 9-day ordeal. You know, $100 a night for just a motel and all that. So anyway, due to Nikki. Anyway, she's a great traveler and everything, but she freaks out on noises of the cars and stuff. What she'll do is, when I had the Nomad last year, she just did what she's doing now underneath the back of it and didn't come out. If I tried to get her on the leash, oh, where she is. What you doing, Nikki? What you doing, Nikki? Nice and cool under there. So yeah, if I try to walk her on the leash, she'll dart. If she hears a loud exhaust, she'll dart one way, and I just can't walk her around or nothing like that. I'd have to keep her in or near the car. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. There's other alternatives, like keep her at a PetSense type place. What, PetSmart, PetSense, those places you can not board them for the day. What you got to do is you got to go in there, say, oh, I need a shampoo or something for the dog, and you can actually leave it there all day long. But that's, you know, 50 bucks or something. But last year, see, I was going to do it last year, but then they wanted vet records from your local vet, stating it's had all these tests done, and flea medication and heartworms and all the shots and all this stuff. And I was like, so I ain't got none of that. Well, we can't take it. So it's going to be the same type of thing. I mean, I thought about taking her to the vet, spend a couple $100 and have all that done. Okay, so then there's that expense. Then there's the expense of putting her through at one of them places every day. So that's another $300-400. And then, I don't know, guys. I've already done it 2 years in a row. It's okay. It's great meeting you guys that I met there. Probably, you know, about 50 people there last year, maybe more. But I don't know. I'll probably do something else this year. I used to go to Colorado all the time. Get away from the heat. But anyway, just figure I'd give you guys an update. I'm probably not going to go. Maybe, like I said, it's probably about, I'd have to leave about 8-9 days from now. This video will come out probably right near the beginning of it. But yeah, let's figure I'd give you guys an update. So I know this video is all over the place. We're going to do a two barrel to 4 barrel conversion on the 76 El Camino. I got it over here, and come with a 350, but just a 2 barrel from the factory. So I got it's right there. Got a battery in it and everything. We're going to start her up, drive it around here. We'll check it out and check out the intake and 4 barrel I'm going to put on it, and we'll go from there. Okay, talk to you later. Okay, guys, we're going to make a hot rod out of this yet. I don't know about this thing. I just love it. Not sure why, but she just starts right up, runs great. On high idle. But I don't know. I don't know why I like it so much, just because it's faded. I just took the hose to it because I had all bird shit over here, just to the front. Well, I don't know, maybe because it's so faded out, you don't have to worry about door dings or shit like that. I'd still need quite a bit of work to be perfect, like new tires. These are the tires I took off that van. Okay, so what we got here is a factory 350. This thing's only got 70-something thousand original miles on it. It was sitting up for 20-odd years. But yeah, just factory 350 with the 2 barrel, which is not all that uncommon, but we don't. I had that opening the choke. Yeah, just a little 2 barrel. When I first got it, went all through it. New plugs, new wires, new distributor cap, oil change, all that. And then the valve covers were leaking, so I put on new valve cover gaskets. Okay, and then lately I got headers from a sponsor and cutouts. So we got new headers, straight pipes going all the way. Well, the glass packs coming out to about here. I'd like to get tailpipes, but and then we got the exhaust cutouts. Push a button and it's open headers, although this thing's pretty loud just with the glass packs. I don't think I showed you, I put the AC compressor back on there. Didn't want to leave it off. We're gonna have to take off all that bracket and stuff like that. Okay, so you just seen the video. I put that new Chinese carb on the 81 Silverado, and that had a big Edelbrock carburetor on it, and it runs good, but the motor just shakes a little bit. And after doing what I did to this, all the tune-up stuff, it still shakes a little bit. So I put that new carburetor on there thinking maybe it's got to be the carburetor, but it does the same thing. So there's nothing wrong with the carburetor. I'll have to go find everything now. Okay, here's the, this is just junk. Okay, there's the carburetor, and it actually has an adapter plate. So I got to put the adapter plate on there. We're going to clean up this carburetor, put it on there, and now this is the 4-barrel intake. And 4-barrel, it's probably, the 4-barrel's probably junk. That was off that old 84 Silverado. So it has the EGR here, but no, I'm not going to pick it up again. But it's got all gunk along the bottom. I mean, it's just like jello, oil turned to jello, all under the bottom. And I thought, you know, as cheap as intakes are, let's just go ahead and get a new one. So I spent 120 bucks shipped to get a new intake. So let's check it out. Got it off of eBay. Put in their intake, small block Chevy, 1 million of them will come up. So don't ask me who I got it from, a link and all that stuff. Just okay. So you can get a single plane or a dual plane. Single plane is really for racing. It doesn't idle that good and everything. So this is more of a factory, but I believe it's like a high rise, you know, more horsepower type thing. No EGR stuff on it. I believe I got a new thermostat housing. So yeah, it's brand new. It's not going to be all gunked up or anything. Yeah, we'll just have to change over the whatever it's got there for the I don't know what it comes with, whether it comes with some plugs or what. It's kind of lightweight. I guess it's aluminum. I don't know if it comes with any plugs or anything, guys, but it's got a bunch of them on there. Just probably have to take them off the old manifold. So yeah, I don't know if I got to take them valve covers off or not. I don't know if those little lips are going to be in the way. It might be, but yeah, we're going to be losing coolant. But yeah, we'll do away with all this vacuum crapola that's from that era. We'll have to figure out distributor and market where it's pointing so we can put it back in the same spot without screwing up and have to redo everything. But yeah, let me get started and I'll keep you informed. Okay guys, I got it ready to pull. Just got this gas line in the way, but I think I can lift it up. And got that suspended with a little bungee cord. Yeah, all this stuff stays with it. It's just all garbage. Okay, so I took all the bolts off and I just took a pry bar right on the corner here. You can see it. She's ready to come out of there. Okay, got the, oh, need to get that out of the way. Got the PVC loose radiator hoses, took the carb off to get at these bolts. Took the distributor out, marked it. It needs to, as long as we get it pointed here, should be back in time. Okay, let me pull that out and we'll set that up beside the new one. We'll see where we're at. And I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it out. Okay, this is the extra thermostat that I had. I bought 3 or 4 of these at one point for other cars, so I could put a thermostat or a temperature gauge sensor right there. So I actually have 2 extra of these deals. So let's see, there's 3 of them. I can put 2 of them in there. Leave that on there because the temperature sensor on this one does work. And oh, I think this is it here. This is where the heater hose goes on. I'd rather get something else. I may cut it off there. Anyway, that one should go. That one should go here. And we can, oh, we'll see if we got one of, I don't know. Looks like that one. Anyway, we'll get something to plug that. This vacuum here, the transmission modulator valve goes there. So we'll take that, put it there. Other than that, I think it's the same. This is where the AC bracket goes, right there and there. So that's good that it's got that on there. And this is for the speedometer cable transmission bracket. Nothing went there. Yeah, it's for the distributor hold down, and then we're going deleting the EGR crapola, this and this. Okay, so I'm gonna get a scraper, pretty clean in there. I'm gonna scrape all that old gasket off and then vacuum it up. Got my shop vac right there. We don't want none of that dirt and stuff getting into the engine. So let me clean all that up. Oh, and I also bought a, I'll have to find it. I just bought a whole complete gasket set. It's usually cheaper to buy it like that instead of single gaskets. I think this was 38 bucks or something. Anyway, it's a whole engine gasket set. So Chevy 350, I forget what it was, 55 to 86 or something like that. So anyway, all we need is the intake gaskets and a few little things. Thermostat gasket, a few other little things. It'll come with a little distributor gasket. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got the gaskets out of this set. They say made in England. Expecting Chinese, but at least some of the gaskets said that. But anyway, pretty good gasket set for the money. It's well worth buying a whole set instead of trying to buy them individually, because you'll eventually need them. Need some of them, you know, old pan or gaskets or something. Anyway, these are the gaskets here. I cleaned up all the edges real good, wiped it down, and we're going to use a little weather strip adhesive to hold that in place. Let it tack up. Got the rubber ones here. We'll put some gasket sealer on that. Let that tack up real good, and then bring the new intake in, set her down, bolted on. These are the EGR thing that's all carbon built up. I didn't want to start breaking all that off and have it fall down into the heads or anything, so yeah, I just left it. Cleaned up all the little bits down here that I could and blew it out with air. Well, I kind of blew it all. Anyway, so that's the plan. Get that intake set on there and then bolt it down. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, out here burning the midnight oil. Think I got everything. Not as quick a job as I thought it'd be. This intake hit the edge of the valve covers right in here and over there to keep it from going all the way down. It had a little bit of a gap, so I had to loosen the valve covers, pry them up, and then tighten the intake, and then tighten the valve covers. The valve covers may leak, and the reason I didn't take them off before is because we already changed the gaskets on them a while back. I forgot why. I think a friend of mine gave them to me when he moved out of a shop, but I got a set of chrome valve covers. If these valve covers here end up leaking on the tops, but what I gotta get is these little washer type, I don't know what they call them, but you get those big long ones, go about that long. See it better there. And they're usually thicker, so you got to get a longer bolt. So I may buy them because I'm going to be using them valve covers on something, and I'd rather not use it on this. I don't want to tear it all apart, take the compressor off again, and well, anyway, I got everything hooked up. I had to reuse this little deal here because one of my little things didn't fit in there. There is a plug here, but there wasn't one on the other intake, and this one fit exactly where the other one did on the intake, and same with this where the water connects. I was going to cut it off here and do away with this, but I just left it on there. We may have to do something with that gas hose. It's probably not going to line up. But other than that, I hooked up the heater hoses, radiator hoses, distributor popped right in there, and the rotor faced the same way as it came out. I think that's about it. So tomorrow I'm just going to put on the carburetor, and hopefully everything goes okay with that, and we'll fire up and see what happens. Okay, see you tomorrow. Okay guys, I got her on there. A little bit of the linkage didn't line up, so I had to take the bracket with the linkage and the transmission kick down and modify a couple little brackets to it. Anyway, I got that done. Had to cut the fuel line end off there and put a rubber line for the carburetor. Put a filter on there. Yeah, anyway, it fired right up first crank. And gonna let it run, make sure there's no coolant leaks anywhere. Yeah, it works good. Give it a little bit more power than that little 2-barrel. Uh-oh, leave the idle. I'd have to up the idle a little bit. And then just make sure the timing's set. I kind of got it loose. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, go for a little test rip here. Okay guys, it seems to run pretty good. So I think we'll end the video on that. I was going to fix this little spot here. I put some Bondo in instead of fiberglass because the other video, that fiberglass piece just peeled out of there like it wasn't even sticking. So I coated it with Pour 15, scuffed it down, put some Bondo in there. But it looks like it's going to rain, so I don't want to do that while it's raining. Okay, I think we'll end the video on that. Sorry the video was all over the place, but anyway, did a little improvement to that. Got the 2-barrel to 4-barrel conversion on it. Okay, so subscribe if you haven't, like, comment, share, all that stuff, and we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.